right, one day doesn't make a reversal. How are you, everyone? Mike V. The VIX was actually higher. Let me take myself off the screen. You know what I look like. The VIX was higher, and it popped, what, about 1 o'clock? And the SPYs were about right here. So anyway, listen, Coach is way better at this, way better. As a matter of fact, what I learned about coaches, this is when stock is going hot, a rollout divergence. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to put myself back on the VIX. Selfishly, if I can, at the risk of everybody here, I am actually learning things. So, and listen, I'm so very self-deprecating. We all know that, but well done with the charting, the plans. Everybody's got their style, respectful. I won't get into it too much. Well done, everybody. Dell, that's toppy. Somebody told me they're shorting Dell in an aggressive manner. Okay, it's not about me. Coach kept me in such high standards that now the room keeps me in high standards. All right, we're back in. Okay, now this being Monday, and I got a lot. This. I wish life was like trading. The simpler I make trading, and I think the longer you trade and the easier it becomes. The more I simplify my life, it seems the more. And believe me, I got it all, so I'm not complaining. But let's keep going here. Simplify TradeGATEHub. First thing you do is always get that YouTube icon. Okay, that's where you get it all. It's not about my next call. It's not going to change your life. It's neither is coaches. All right, watching one of our 2 videos a day. Be a part of our almost 9,000 subscribers. Like again, where we do 2 videos a day right here. Coach, 1,500 views one day. I don't get that in a week. And why? Not because he's whatever it may be. Because he's a better trader, because he has a better platform, he's more professional. It is what it is. Be a part of our almost 9,000 subscribers. Everybody, they fired me. All right, no problem. Second thing you do is go back into the room. Always start scrolling up from the top. It used to start like on Sunday evening, obviously this being Monday, but everybody talks a little bit more macro. And again, I appreciate the respect throughout the week. So it's not really like I can pinpoint, where we start. It starts with a plan. It starts with focus. The last thing you have to worry about here's my universe, is where to go to and what to do. We're trying to really simplify it and understand why, and not really understand why so much, but we go upon price action, calls, volume, trend, sentiment. Speaking of sentiment, he was posted today in the greed factor. There's Mario's. Mario pointed it out right away. Lunar. Somebody asked me about SpaceX just before, and I appreciate that. Who was it? It's an OG member. Haran. Okay, Lunar. I'm going to tell you something. I had a good amount of this stock Lunar short trading, by the way. ASTS pulled in on Friday. The moving averages, by the way, RKLB still waiting. Could very easily, we have to watch this. This could one day, all of a sudden you have a stop to 85, and it's going to have a move like an AXTI or an NBIS, although they're in a different sector, but you know what I mean. But this Lunar, they trap people at the 200-day, and even if you didn't trade it, this was a tradable stock. The stock within 2 days has a 14, whatever, the 30% range, pulls back on to the 200-day. Now it's at the close above 2062, not bad. But until then, IBM, they're buying a tremendous amount of puts on IBM. The acronym when I was trading is I've been mugged, because it used to be controlled by a market maker. IBM bearish. Merck, bullish. EOG, calls. EOG is I can't say SanDisk. EOG is almost like the Apple of the oil stocks, and they're buying and they're loading it big. See this thing? Actually, it's not even that. They are buying EOG. There's the weekly. They're longer the space, bigger the base, whatever the hell it is on the weekly. You know what I'm talking about. That's self-explanatory, but they're buying it aggressively. Stock has it in it. And you know what? Like via our options seminars, it's not EOG. It's not like they're buying just like a Nike sneaker, even though that might be bullish for the rest of the footwear. But if they're buying EOG, certainly if you're following a TradeGATEHub, they're doing the same with Dino. Oh, beautiful. They're buying it with SU. They're buying with EXC, which I saw was down $1.70 today. This stock they're buying into nicely too. Maybe it's a mean reversion play, but you know what? Still, ExxonMobil. This is turning. You know what ExxonMobil is turning into this type of call situation? For those that follow the past year or two, it's turning out to be like a JP Morgan call. Even though the banks have a little program selling today, ExxonMobil is the JP Morgan of oils. Okay, let's review a couple of charts. I'm going to go into some calls and then we'll get into the trading. Pardon me. SPSW work. The golds. You want to hear about the golds? The scroll up. Software gave it back today. MP. Back and undercutting the 200-day, up, down, and all around. Cisco. Can't find an uptick last I looked. Actually, it came out. If it worked. Cisco, that's not something I would be putting money on long term. Look into some retailers. CMG, PT, still waiting there, right? Kava, all over the board. How about Fig? TTB, TTD. Listen to me. I'm telling you, don't waste your time in that thing. UMAC. Aaron. Aaron. Like the Key and Peel sketch. I got you. I get it. The Key and I got you, brother. Cool name, by the way. All right, let's get into calls. All right, we have enough time patting ourselves on the back. We didn't even do anything important. But thanks for tuning in, my man. I see you all the time. Okay, what are they doing in calls? Okay, let me go with what they did in the morning so I don't have to go through. Let's start at about noon. Okay, they're going into more OIH, as you can see. But in the morning, let me go through some charts of what they did in calls. They're buying NXC aggressively, even though it's at a year low. NXC, that it's not a year low. That's misinformation. They're buying NXC. They're buying Ford. They're buying Dino. They're buying AXTI. IBM is the aforementioned. They're buying EOG again. It's not, listen, I'll go to the thing. There's not that much after what I said, believe me. OIH, crude oil, they're in it. Assist, IBM, there you go. Still seeing some algo put activity. Does it mean it works? I don't know. Get to know it. Quick update. All right, so what are they doing now? Risk appetite, Goldman risk appetite indicator, okay? That's bearish, but hold on a second. Still to me, hold on, bearish, hold on. It could be profit taking. Or it could be sell rips. All right. The standard deviation from 1.1 to minus 1.2 could be another 10% on you being down on a short. Because as we all know here, and from the beginners to everyone from Mr. Hunter, David Hunter, by the way, biggest moves coming at the end. Boeing puts. That's why I'm looking at and Mario pointed out, the retailer, not just the retailers, the retailer in general, spending money. UAL coming to the 50-day, how you doing? Delta coming to the 50-day, how you doing? I saw Boeing have some puts in there. I shorted LUV, love, but I don't like it because I think I'm shorting it in the hole. Maybe it goes to the 200-day. But then I look at CCL. CCL might be worth a short. It very rarely works. But CCL, am I off the screen here? I'm sorry. There's the weekly on CCL. It's not a barn burner, but if you're turning that way, sort of defensive, and I get it, and we go to the big daddy of all, we always go to best of breeds. RCL, there you go. So CC, it's more than that's the as Mario and everybody points out, especially the guys of the weekend. You, Rich, I'll give you a shout out. Riz and all those guys. Maybe it does pan out that way. You know what I mean? I know CCL doesn't move like SanDisk. You know what I mean? But once you get to trade bigger size and everything, even you can make a difference with this type of trade instead of worrying about Lunar or Hive. CCL. There's the Boeing. Supported 220. Hey, listen. Netflix, they're buying it again in the hole. No deal. No something. This is interesting. This is kind of what you want to see. Oh, I paused it. Hold on now. Your screen is paused. Resume. I can barely cut and paste. It's amazing I can even navigate around this. But this is being facetious. Actually, not really. All right, this is what you kind of want to see for those option guys. All right, listen, you want to see a stock in an uptrend and pull back to a proverbial, bull pennant or a cup and handle. But here's Netflix, and it may not be it may take a little bit more time, but this is kind of what you want to see, and it's been taking calls. It's coming back to the 50-day. It's coming back on low volume. Three moving averages conversion is, maybe if the market takes it lower, then you have the 75 strike price. The 21 days a little bit under 50, as you can see top left here in the white, 74.47. That's kind of what you want to see. It's going to pop, maybe buy some here, pops over 78 and then takes it out. And, that's kind of what you really want. Well, that's what you want to see. What you want to see is right here. They're buying calls like right here, something like that. But Netflix, noted. Exxon. Really quiet out here. Okay. That's impossible because you know what? Not quiet when you're sitting at a little buying power. Excuse me. RDW calls. That's interesting. Oh my God, look at RDW. Remember the old when I said I was open for 20? And by the way, this RDW wasn't part really of a squeeze. This actually had decent numbers. All right, they're backing up the RDW. Watch it. There's the weekly. Like I said, Lunar's not acting badly. SpaceX there. I don't know. You got to go by where the calls is. They're buying them after a run up, and that's good. The bottom line is the semis program sell. That'd be nice. What time is it? Where's the nobody's yelling at me that my 44,000. Speaking of Aaron, I have Hank Aaron, 44,000 mud. One ignored message. Go play it. There's it. I'm ignoring play. I don't mean to do that play. I love you, kid. Speaking of Aaron, I have Hank Aaron, 44,000. Toby, what happened to SG? She fired us. You know what? She went up. She went a leg high. She went to Bloomberg. No problem. Per. I get per. I get it. I see per and I see your trots. When I see per, everybody together, what do you think of Keel? I like Keel better. BE, best of breed. Unfortunately, I think it's gonna. Unfortunately, I think if you buy it here, I think you might go through a little bit of pain first. If it's the proverbial, you're getting hit over the head, and you wake up in here. But right now, I can't really. It's what they call the danger zone. Treat these moving averages here, the 50-day in red and the green, almost like Bollinger Bands, if you will. You know what I mean? Not bad. Good question. Open, I can't, it opens a spec. I can't support that, to be honest with you. Listen, what we have to learn as traders is you can make just as much money chasing it on the way up when the volume comes in than you can starting to buy a position here and having it bleed to death, because believe me, I've done them both. open, you either buy calls and allot some things and put them away lottos, or you don't start a position here. What about RKT? Good, a fair question. They're all fair. EMAT. All right, EMAT. This is what I think when I see EMAT. Try to be a doctor here. When I see all this action to the left, it tells me it's a SPAC. I'm not sure yet. Is it? All right. All right. So this is what I see again. This has had the most volume it's had, arguably, in September since 2024. I don't know what to think about it. You got to be over the freaking. I don't know what about it. I'll check it out. What am I doing with it? You tell me. You tell me what I'm doing here. This is not something I follow. And believe me, I'll be, I'll check it out after the close starts. Here's my position. Mud. What do I see in mud? MU. You know what I mean? I can't. What the best thing I like about MU. And listen, bottom line, coach has been trading it. I don't even trade it that well. I trade it well when I trade it, but I've been trying not to concentrate too much. You know what I'm saying? Coach is good at this. What I like about the MU trade, if you're going to try to take a short, and I'm going to sell some of the mud. I swear on my Tony Pistachio. I swear. I hope it goes to 100 tomorrow with you. I won't flinch. I'm not saying. I don't. I have too many other stuff. You'll see. You'll see. So MU. I don't know. This is the weekly on MU. All right. So we also, if you want to really look at a macro trade or to start outside in, if you will, you want it to close below the weekly high right here. Hold on a second. Yes, Mrs. TradeGATEHub, we're on a video.
I'm sorry. I was going to throw you on something to eat. Could you just let me know? Because I'm down here at Hannaford. I don't know if you're going out to get something to eat.
All right. Okay. It's all good. Let me know it. I'll tell you after I'm done.
Okay. Well, I'm down here now, so I didn't know. I'm going in.
All right, whatever. Pick something out. Good. You know what to do. Probably just lost. That phone call. I probably lost I probably lost the grocery store. I could have bought it. So anyway, coach is better at that. Nokia weekly. What I'm saying on the MU now is you want now I'm reclaiming. You want it to close below the high right here. What's the high? 10.11. 77 is the high of that close. Or the high, yeah. You want it to close below there if you're going to try it. UMAC, David, all back. Oils have been back in the corner of my head of breaking higher. Corner of my head. UMAC, corner of my eye. Devon Energy. You know what I did? I did exactly what I did in AGI. Marry it for there. And I will say it. I sold the low on AGI. And this was the volume day. I can't believe it, what I did. It's not like I would have held it, but that was the volume, and I acted like a retail trader. See the volume? I capitulated. I said, that's it. And that was part of the herd. Oh, that hurts. Oh, God, that hurts me. Oh, what I'm saying is in Devon Energy, something similar. Where's our CRK? Let's look at with CRC. All right, that'll pop. SB. SB. Safe bulk carriers for you shippers. Flying. Actually, it's not flying, but it's taking calls. This is not my type of trade. But I know when shippers go up, I'm not going to lie, I'm not turning bearish. I'm going to say there's a little bit less edge there with the risk on. SBLK. The safe bunkers? Yeah. SBLK ripping. Throw. Zim. Ay. The safe bunkers? Yeah. SBLK. The wife is hungry. Like I'm saying, she calls me, expects me to pick up at 3:15. Right? Okay, remember how I say nobody knows what we do? Let me pontificate. Relax. I've been with the woman for 17 years. Has no idea when power hour is. I'm not kidding. She's not going to watch this video, and this is not to be obnoxious. My P&L and my net worth swings within that hour of power hour more than her salary for the year. And calls me up and yelling at me if I want a turkey or ham sandwich. Incredible. It's all right. They don't care. No problem. Keep trugging along, all us traders. All right? We'll see. There's silver reclaiming the 200 day. Meta. That's a bad chart too, right, guys? Right? I can't say it's any macro anymore, but that can't be good. Meta has it every chance to turn around. What day is this? August, end of the quarter. You know what? Even so, a snap. Not that they go in the same category. Look at the 52-week high today. For those who want to make it easier on yourself, Bank of America, Merck, we mentioned it. CVE Energy, Rove, Clint brought it up. US Bank, self-explanatory. Refiner, Dino, self-explanatory. Bank, Roku, takeover. You get it. A couple of banks, refiners, not one tech. The DRAM is above the 50. Now, let me tell you something. The DRAM situation. This cuts back below the 50 day. It's going to trap people for a trade. Where it happens after that, I'm not sure. If bonds, TLT bounce. I don't like the bond. If you want to listen to bonds, you listen to Dale Pinkert. He knows what he's doing there. Nike, 52-week lows. Tim Cook took a stake. The CEO took a stake. This CEO, you could Nike. I wouldn't touch this with J-Norm's money. Now, you know what? Okay, now let me tell you from experience. This doesn't bounce within a day or two. More margin calls. This is a heavy fund stock. Boomers own this thing. I'm not saying it brings down the market, but there's a short here, right? This doesn't. Has no idea. What an insult. And they're calling in the middle of power hour. Horrible. I'm divorcing her. It's over. We can just trade more now. Beautiful. Oh, what's today? Monday? Oh, look at this earnings. Look at this earnings. This poor mom. Sorry, Mom. This earnings. Look at the earnings here. Home Depot. Baidu was a former best of breed, former fund holding. FN Don't want to be wrong there. CLAR, XP, no good. Brazilian. IQ, all China. IQ, VNet, China. HSAI, China. Pony, China. It's a China night. Besides Home Depot. Nike 52-week lows. That can't be good. You like CLAR? I'll tell you right now, I like the symbol. I can see it. Selling cash, secured puts. Selling cash, secured puts the cash volatility. Okay. Stuck in the mud. I'm afraid to look. See this? Well, this is still rotation to a degree, which may be why the VIX isn't picking up that much. Some early rotation, some late rotation out of semis and into the Dow and software. It was the opposite of this morning, which means maybe the mud's going up. Ooh, daddy. Oh my God. NBIS. Fucking Oscar. Bastard. Fastly just ripped. BSP. Cliff Clavin. Cliff Clavin flying. ETU. I'm an SBSW. And I'm digging it. Might have paid up a little bit. Not sure. Might have paid up a little, Mike V, but it's got it in it. God forbid there's war. Silver. Ford. Can't do it. General Motors, you might have heard of it. Can't do it. BKSY. Did it hold the 50-day? Still. Lunar. Nah, you know what? Those space stocks. How about the follow-throughs? How about AMAT? Had a little bit dead cat down to the 50-day kind of resistance, if you will. That goes below the red line, if you will. You could be embarrassed. CBRS, same thing. Ooh, that came back. That squeezed the shorts. Look at CBRS, and that looked like a decent short, too. What are you going to do? Do you come in Friday? If you come in this morning, think you have a good position, stock opens down, you walk Tony Pistachio and it rips 40. Oh, my God. I'll tell you, these guys, this Vera came out. If I may act like an analyst, I'm an animal, and an analyst at your expense. This Vera has it in it, drug stock. We were thinking about, some bios. Please, I'm open for suggestions, but it acted well after the numbers that came in long it. I hear it's, higher lows and has it in it, if you will. And, if you want to look even at the weekly 200-day as well as the gap, I think it's a decent entry if you start building a position here. And it's taking more calls and acted well. And so, it's one that I'm looking. Listen, if I'm giving out research lottos now, then maybe we should just take a step back. QMCO still going. XT. Yeah, rack space. Cool symbol. That's what you want, Jane Loom, right here. This is the form of, see the volume right here? In the bottom of June? That's the volume shelfer. Oof. I don't know. All right, noted. I can't talk to listen. Jane Loom music. Good stock picker. All right, let's take it from one of the best, if not a frame of reference. Adam Mancini, one of the best freaking futures trading on the planet. At least with slow day with no trades. No trades. If I could sit there and sit and not trade and have that much patience, I'd be living well, you know, next to freaking Ken Griffin. EOG, very good. That's in the back. By the way, you know, the stocks that come into 3:40 to 4 o'clock to close them actually, but the ones in the back of my mind usually wind up coming to fruition. EOG, SU. Ugh. That is one day away from people chasing it and having FOMO in it. Still going up with low volume after a run up. My God. Oh, that Dino and Barney. Dino and Fred Flintstone. Oh my God, Dino. That hasn't even gone yet. All right, I'll leave it there. I'll do better tomorrow. Thank you, Jose. Cheers.